raisins are all around the edge of these cakes. They're really good.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're looking at actors and performers who achieved stardom in childhood but seemingly disappeared from fame when they became adults. And along the way, there'll be a few stops on nostalgia too.
It was horrible. I just stood there thinking, what do I do now?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. David Peachey, Bernard Beasley in Bernard's Watch. It might surprise you to learn that CITV's 90s to noughties nostalgia trip, Bernard's Watch, actually has older roots. The story of the boy who's given a watch that freezes time was inspired by a 1963 episode of The Twilight Zone. But whilst a kind of a stopwatch centered around a 41-year-old boar's descent to criminality, Bernard Beasley was a young lad with tardiness issues.
At school or at home,
Sorry.
Bernard never seemed to be able to get there on time.
The first run of the hit kids fantasy comedy ran from 1997 to 2001 and starred David Peachey as the eponymous Bernard, and amassed huge popularity across school kids.
So it's mine. I can keep it.
It's all yours, Bernard.
But unlike the watch in question, Peachey couldn't stop time, and ultimately aged out of the role, causing ITV to recast and reboot. As for Peachey, he's now a GP, and on time.
Goodness, where did you get that?
Somebody gave it to me.
Number 9. Georgina Sherrington, Mildred Hubble in The Worst Witch. Long before Hermione Granger made screens, there was this witch in training. Jill Murphy's Miss Cackle's Academy for Witches was home to Mildred Hubble, played by Georgina Sherrington, a tenacious yet clumsy student whose misspells ultimately made for weekly viewing.
You alright now? I think so. Thanks.
Sherrington would reprise the role for sequel series set at Weird Sister College, and then spin off The New Worst Witch, which centered around her cousin, Hetty.
I just don't want you starting off like I did, with a crash into the school dustbins.
In 2000, the actress won the Young Artist Award for her portrayal, and as years progressed, she moved through short films, education, before pursuing other avenues in the industry. Today, she's a development consultant for Seesaw Films, hopefully conjuring more Slow Horses episodes.
Up and away.
Number 8. Charlie Potter, Bruno Jenkins in The Witches. For many in the UK, Roald Dahl's stories were childhood fixtures, so naturally movie adaptations would follow. Whilst Dahl himself wasn't completely satisfied with the changes to 1990's The Witches, and we can't imagine what he'd have made of the 2020 film, the casting was pretty spot on. Our young protagonist, named in the adaptation as Luke, and now from the US, is paired with Bruno Jenkins.
How much pocket money do you get? My dad's rich, but he's very tight.
The latter, played by Charlie Potter, is mouseified, and much of the plot revolves around reuniting him with his parents, to no avail. Yet, with the role, Potter was one and done, despite the movie's positive response. Instead of movies, Potter moved into the corporate world, ostensibly leaving behind what could have been a promising career as an actor.
This is our Bruno.
Don't cry, Mum. You'll get used to me.
Number 7. Hattie Jones, Madeline in Madeline. Brits can be forgiven for not knowing much about Madeline. Created by an Austrian-American writer, the books date back to 1939. Adaptations were animated and usually imported from North America. The live-action version of the character wouldn't appear until 1998, played by a very young and unknown English actress named Hattie Jones.
To the tiger in the zoo, Madeline just said.
Pooh-pooh.
The movie, like the other adaptations, was an American production, and despite its Parisian setting, took liberties with a few plot elements. For her part, despite being a non-redheaded blonde, hair color is a thing for some audiences, look at James Bond, Jones sharing the screen with the Frances McDormand garnered acclaim.
She doesn't have a home. She needs a home.
I know she does.
I need a home too.
The child actor would enjoy a few more roles, even auditioning for Hermione Granger, but ultimately became a writer upon adulthood.
She's dead. She's gone.
No, she's not. She's still with you. And she's in the school too.
Number 6. Victoria Shallot, Harmony Parker in The Queen's Nose. The Queen's Nose. For those non-90s kids, this wasn't a documentary on the late monarch's nasal passages, but a CBBC fantasy adaptation of Dick King Smith's 1983 novel. For the popular show, Victoria Shallot played central character Harmony Parker, who could see her wishes granted if she rubbed the head side of a 50p.
Come on, Harm. Why do you keep looking at it? Because it's special.
Acting since 6 years old, Shallot was already enjoying a prominent career as an actress before the show brought her mainstream success, and would continue taking guest roles thereafter.
What's so special about this coin,
You probably won't believe me, but it makes your wishes come true.
Bizarrely, the show would drop Shallot from the principal cast after Series 4, and it's arguable the changes didn't sit well with the audiences as the show only lasted 3 more. Shallot became disillusioned with acting by her 20s, retraining as a counselor.
This stays with me, at least until I can find someone who's a good enough cause.
Number 5. Edward Fido, Eric in Woof. As we continue our trip down memory lane, perhaps audiences familiar with previous entries would know about Woof.
Dad?
Yeah?
Was there a dog in the house last night?
Another novel adaptation, this time by Alan Alberg, the CITV show has somewhat fallen into obscurity, as it's only been given VHS treatment in the UK post-broadcast. And if you don't remember VHS, then good luck with Woof. For the first few years, the rather aptly named Edward Fido played Eric, a boy who'd transform into a dog.
I started scratching a bit and then it happened.
The show received a shake-up of sorts in Series 5, and Fido's character was replaced. He would remain in performing arts, setting up production companies and teaching, but on screen, Woof, despite its popularity, would be his only claim to fame.
But it wasn't just a dream or something? I don't think so. I'd know if it was a dream.
Number 4. Jess Smith, the Sun in Teletubbies. It might be that Jess Smith for a while was the most recognisable face on British children's TV, despite no one knowing who she was. She would certainly be the youngest, as her debut on TV was before she could read lines or even talk. In fact, all the actress could do was smile. Jess Smith was a literal star, as the shining sun that would wake the Teletubbies every morning. At 9 months old, the tot was given £250 and a box of toys to be filmed sitting and laughing for all of her brief scenes in the show, and it wasn't until decades after that Smith even revealed her involvement in the classic preschooler entertainment during a student introduction exercise at uni.
Hopefully, just going on to teaching dance in primary schools and, just spreading the knowledge.
Number 3. Stuart Wells, Michael in Billy Elliot. Billy Elliot has given us quite a few child stars who became acting stars in adulthood. The 2000 movie would be an electrifying start for Jamie Bell's acting career after playing the titular role. The story of the prepubescent ballet prodigy from a Thatcher-decimated Durham mining community during the 80s strikes was critically acclaimed. Whilst we rooted for Bell's character, audiences were similarly captivated by Stuart Wells' portrayal of Michael.
You coming in or what?
Okay, this is a slight cheat. Wells was actually 17 when playing the preteen.
Maybe you could run away or something. Join a dancing troupe.
Even though critics lauded his performance, in lieu of a promised acting career post-release, Wells enlisted in the British Army, serving 3 tours and retiring as a corporal in 2008.
Oi! Dancing boy!
Number 2. Connie Talbot, Britain's Got Talent runner-up. In 2007, Simon Cowell's Britain's Got Talent would differ from Pop Idol and X Factor fare. Contestants could be all ages, as 6-year-old Connie Talbot showed. In her audition, the judges expected a novelty act but got a singing sensation.
Dreams really do come true.
The primary schooler sailed through to the final, finishing second to opera singer Paul Potts. In the immediate aftermath, Talbot was in huge demand to perform live, even though album releases would attract criticism that she lacked the life experience to provide artistic nuance. Still with 2 albums before reaching double figures, Talbot needed time to be a kid, so she somewhat disappeared from public view. Now in her 20s, Talbot still records, even returning to Got Talent both here and in America.
I'd do anything for you.
Number 1. Mark Lester, Oliver in Oliver. As his contemporaries learned spelling, sat their 11 pluses and finished school, Mark Lester was acting. Born to an actress mother and producer father, Lester, at age 6, was part of Brit TV Classics, but it wouldn't be long before he would hit the big time as the titular Oliver in Lionel Bart's musical adaptation in 1967.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Over the ensuing decade, Lester's body of work amounted to many actors' dreams, sharing the screen with Hollywood legends and traveling beyond Blighty shores.
Can I? Please, I'd like to.
Though his career was flourishing, despite problems with the British film industry, Lester called it quits and became a prominent osteopath, returning to film only once more, a documentary on friend Michael Jackson.
This is not the Michael Jackson that I knew for over 30 years. This is not the man that my children knew.
Are there any other kid stars that we forgot? Let us know in those comments below.